All right, so tonight, we got a special one for you because so many of us are very interested in making sure we've got good bacteria and keeping the bad bacteria in check. So tonight we're going to be walking through. And again, just as the usual disclaimer, these statements are not meant to treat, diagnose, cure anything. They're not approved by the Food and Drug Administration. So basically, we're talking about empowering the body. And I mean, there's natural ways of keeping the good and the bad at bay. So let me just get a little bit closer. There we go. Sorry, adjusting the screen. So tonight we're going to talk about the garlic allium complex. And if you ever hear one of our friends who's from South Africa say this complex, it's garlic allium complex. So allium is the complex family. So you can see in here that all allium families are actually in this. It's garlic, onion, leeks, and chives. And I can tell you, I don't like most of those. So this is a good way for me to get it in my body instead of actually eating it. What's really cool is when you take these, you don't want to just eat them straight. So if you take a garlic clove, you just don't want to pop it in your mouth, or you don't want to just stick it in a stew. You actually want to chop it up and let it sit for a little bit and then start cooking with it. So one of my posts is to smush up some garlic, chop it up, and let it sit for about 10 minutes. That actually starts the chemical release of the allium. That is the sulfur compound found within this particular product. It assists with and has studies on cholesterol, blood pressure, and it detoxes the GI tract. So unfortunately, when it comes to doing anything with this garlic allium complex, it is going to remove anything, whether it's good or bad. But that's where we put in the good back into our body, which we'll be talking about a different night. But this actually keeps the bad at bay. We have to have some bad bacteria. If you only have good probiotics, you can actually throw off your digestive tract or your GI tract really, really bad. And the important thing of balancing the good and the bad is your GI tract is where actually all of your immune system, so 70 to 80% of your immune system resides in your GI tract, or your gut microbiome is another way of saying it, your GI. Infectious disease prevention, such as yeast, bacteria, fungal, parasitic, especially urinary tract infections, hey, it helps. Neolife technology is to protect alanise from the stomach acid. So this product has an enteric coating that actually protects it through the acidic stomach acid and ensures it gets into the intestines where that allicin, the allium family with the allicin is actually needed. And if it doesn't get past the acidic stomach, then you don't get as many of the benefits. One dose provides the equivalent of over 1,800 milligrams of pure garlic. That is insane. That's one way to keep the vampires away. Deodorized garlic. So many people go, well, and I used to take one a long time ago before I knew anything, is it's odor free. So deodorized garlic contains very little allicin, if at all, any, and it has no antibacterial or antiviral activity. And people ask all the time, will it make your breath stink? No, it doesn't. We were doing some for helping our body against mosquitoes. We were taking, I think, 6 to 8 a day when we went to Africa. And people asked me that, and I said, do you smell garlic? And they said, nope. And I said, I don't smell like garlic. It's not coming out through my pores, which can happen if you eat raw garlic. It'll start coming out through your pores. It did help. And the other thing is, unless you want that garlicky taste, don't chew it. If you chew it, it will be very, very, very potent. So let's see. Go ahead with this next one.
So this is what is actually contained in one tablet, a single tablet of the garlic allium complex. So you have the equivalents here. You have 210 milligrams of garlic powder, which equates to 630 milligrams of fresh garlic. 15 milligrams of garlic concentrate. So you have the powder and concentrate from the garlic. You also have 10 milligrams of onion concentrate. You have 5 milligrams of chive powder, the 5 milligrams of leek powder, and also rosemary concentrate is in there, which is kind of interesting.
Rosemary is actually a really important herb, has a lot of good health benefits.
And just a side note here, for aged garlic, contains only 5% of active compounds compared to fresh. So I'm not really sure exactly how long it lasts, but you don't want to keep it around too long because it does lose its potency.
Yes, but these pills, unless you have had these pills before, they actually come in a I forget, it is a bubble pack. So you actually have to pop the pills out. That maintains the freshness. So if you go to travel with them, I always tell people just to actually cut the pills. So take some scissors and then cut them down to about the size that you need to travel with them. That stays fresh. It also prevents them from kind of stinking things up because you'll smell the garlic. So more about Allison. This is that fighting power again. The Allison in the Allium family. Although it is very unstable, the Allison in the garlic accounts for most of garlic's antifungal and antibacterial activity. So for people, and there's I'm going to say this lightly, you can actually use it for an ear infection. There's a manner that you do it. You don't stick the some people say you can actually stick the garlic actually in your ear, but I don't like it because you're going to get clumps of it. But what you actually do is you get the oils and you stick that in there. There's another great product that I also like too, but you can use garlic oil for that specific purpose. It has a lot of good, it's just really, really good. So it has anti-parasitic activity. Most of its anti-parasitic activity comes from the Allison. Some of its lipid lowering effects. You want to speak on the lipids?
That's the part that helps lower the cholesterol.
There you go. There you go. And some of the anti-clotting effects. And when people talk about garlic if you take a lot of it, it can have blood thinning impacts, but it is a lot. I believe it is about 4,000, I believe it is. I'll have to get that number if you really want it. Just message me and I'll get that back to you. But if you do take a lot of garlic, even eating a lot of garlic or the Allium family, they can cause blood thinning effects. Taking the recommended daily allowance of 2 is perfectly safe for everyone. And again, it has the Allison is surprisingly tied to some of its anti-cancer protection. Allison quickly converts into ahoin, which is a more stable compound, I'm probably butchered that, which has an anti-clotting activity better than aspirin. So again, aspirin thins the blood. It also lowers the triglycerides and has some, again, anti-cancer activity. So now we're going to take out the fill in the blank. So give you a sec to grab that out. And this is going to be really cool because, again, this garlic allium complex, when you say garlic, it's not just garlic. It is these components of the allium family. So go ahead and start. You know what? Hold on. Let me do this tip and then I'll have you start. Sorry. When you get any garlic, whether it be Neolife or not, which it should be Neolife because that's going to guarantee that it is time release enteric coated with all allium, which is the garlic, onion, chives, leeks families that turn into allicin. Allicin aids the body's healing ability. Again, it's not curing anything, but it's giving the body the healing ability. It ensures that it gets released into the intestine. So again, that enteric coating protects it from being destroyed by the acidic stomach, gets into the intestines, and boom, bada bing.
So for number 1 on the fill-in, this is wonderful for colon problems.
Oh no, boom, there's the poop talk. Sorry, I had to do that. I was going to get out of talking about poop tonight.
Number 2, great for detoxification.
Oh, I want to talk about this next one. So after the detoxification, it's tremendous for deworming and parasites. You can take for some people, maybe less or more. But we've actually had A person with six garlic a day had parasitic worms. And you can add the aloe vera. You can add the aloe vera gel, which we'll get into later. Externally, you can do aloe vera juice on the inside, and the acidophilus, which is the probiotics that we'll talk about later on.
Number 4, it is fantastic for constipation.
Oh, no. Oh, it's all poop. Number 5 is great for getting rid of the bad bacteria.
Number 6, incredible for preventing fast multiplying cells.
And this product particular, again, the one that we said that has anti-cancer, those are proven in studies, but this has prevention for fast multiplying cells. So number 7 is great for blood pressure. It does help with blood clotting as well too. So it helps purify the blood a little bit.
And number 8 is great for depression.
Which is really, really cool. So again, our gut is what ties into our mood. And if we have a healthy gut, then it is going to impact our gut significantly. And it's going to make us a healthier, happier person. And who wouldn't want a great gut, because that means we're pooping more. But we're cleansing the house. I know, I'm never going to get over that. We're cleansing the house. We're making the best ideal environment for our body. We're cleaning things out. And again, remember, people ask me all the time, I need to get rid of all the bad bacteria. Well, you cannot get rid of literally every bad bacteria. But the thing is when people have to go to the doctor and the doctor says, we're putting you on an antibiotic, even an antibiotic does not kill the bad bacteria. Because what an antibiotic does is it goes in and it says, hey, I'm here. And just like if anyone's seen that Mucinex commercial, they're going on vacation, but they'll come back home. Is basically the same thing. The bad bacteria hide from the antibiotics. Some of them actually do get killed, but as soon as that antibiotics is gone, they flourish again. And sometimes they repopulate even more than normal. With the garlic, incorporating that into your daily routine, you're constantly giving your body the fighting power to regulate those bad bacteria. Because as you get older, I know the old talk, this is another thing, as we get older, the ability to control the good versus the bad tries to win as we get older. So it's even more important that we have to regulate this. We have to help our body. And again, garlic, onions, leeks, chives, they're great. Again, if you're like me, yes, I'm a nutritionist, and I can say I don't like three of the 4 of those. So I supplement. So if there's any questions, let me go ahead and, it looks like we do have a question. Bear with me one sec. Make sure it is time release coded with all the garlic enteric. So oh my goodness.
ENTERIC.
Yeah, enteric. And so the time release means that it's going to get through the acidic stomach. And then when it gets into the intestines, that pH actually activates the garlic, and then it releases into there. So yep, we'll get that typed for you. There we go. There it is. It's in that chat message for you. So I'm going to go ahead and